These are 5 plants growing right now on your city sidewalks, in your local park, and probably in your own backyard, and every single one of them is edible. This is the beginner's guide to urban foraging, and by the end of this, you'll never look at a weed the same way again. Urban foraging is exactly what it sounds like, finding and collecting wild edible plants growing naturally in cities. It's exploding in popularity right now, from Vancouver to New York, as people look for sustainable, local, and let's be honest, free food. But here's the thing most people don't realize. Many of these so-called weeds pack more nutrition than what you're buying at the grocery store. We're talking higher levels of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants than their cultivated cousins. This isn't some new trend either. Humans foraged in what is now the United States for thousands of years before agriculture even existed. Native American tribes across North America thrived on it. Today, foraging is making a comeback, and it can genuinely help fill nutritional gaps, especially in communities where access to fresh produce is limited. So let's jump into the 5 easiest plants to start with. These are widespread, simple to identify, and beginner-friendly. Number 1 is dandelion. Yes, that dandelion. The one you've been trying to kill in your lawn your entire life. Taraxacum officinale, a member of the Asteraceae family, is arguably the single best plant for a beginning forager because you almost certainly already know what it looks like. Bright yellow flower heads that turn into those fluffy white seed balls, deeply toothed leaves growing in a rosette at the base. The name dandelion actually comes from the French dandelion, meaning lion's tooth, because the edges of the leaves look like a row of teeth. Here's what makes dandelion remarkable. According to registered dietitian Nancy Gieb, dandelions are nutritionally dense, probably the most nutritionally dense green you can eat, outstripping even kale or spinach. 1 cup of raw dandelion greens has just 25 calories, but delivers excellent amounts of vitamin A, vitamin K, folate, and vitamin C. Half a cup contains more calcium than a glass of milk and more iron than spinach. You can eat the entire plant too. Young leaves go straight into salads with a slightly bitter, spinach-like flavor. Harvest them young for a milder taste. The flowers can be used to make dandelion wine or syrup. And the roots roast well for a naturally caffeine-free coffee substitute. Even better for beginners, dandelion lookalikes like cat's ear are all non-toxic. So even if you get it slightly wrong, you are still safe. It grows on all 7 continents. You will find this plant. Number 2 is plantain. And no, not the banana. We're talking about plantago, from the Plantagenaceae family, the low-growing plant with prominent parallel veins running through its leaves. If you pull off a leaf and snap it, you'll see those veins sticking out like threads, similar to celery. There are 2 main varieties you'll encounter, broadleaf plantain and narrowleaf plantain. Both have those signature fibrous veins. This plant is incredibly tough. It thrives in compacted soil, survives repeated mowing, and grows in yards, fields, sidewalk cracks, and abandoned lots everywhere. Native Americans reportedly called it white man's foot because it seemed to grow wherever European settlers traveled. It even shows up in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet as a healing plant. That healing reputation is well earned. Plantain leaves are anti-inflammatory and pain-relieving. Crush up a leaf, rub it on a mosquito bite or bee sting, and it works remarkably well. It's earned the nickname nature's Band-Aid. You can eat the young leaves raw in salads during early spring. As they mature, they get tough and stringy, so grab them early. Herbalist Rosemary Gladstar put it perfectly. If plantain put on a fancy name, donned an exotic blossom, and hailed from anywhere other than our own backyards, we'd call it a superfood and put a hefty price tag on it. Number 3 is purslane. This is the hidden gem of urban foraging. Portulaca oleracea has smooth, thick, paddle-shaped succulent leaves and a slightly sour, lemony taste. Nutritionally, it's in a class of its own. Purslane contains more omega-3 fatty acids than any other leafy vegetable. Ounce for ounce, it rivals some fish. A 1992 analysis in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition found that 100 grams of purslane contained 300 to 400 milligrams of omega-3 fats. It carries 15 times more omega-3 than iceberg lettuce. It's also packed with potassium, magnesium, and calcium. One note of caution: purslane does contain oxalic acid, the same compound found in spinach and rhubarb. While generally safe in normal quantities, people with kidney stones should consume it in moderation. Native to the Mediterranean, purslane has spread across the globe and thrives wherever humans have disturbed the soil. In Mexican cuisine, it's known as verdolagas and is a beloved ingredient. You can eat the leaves, buds, flowers, and tips of young stems. Look for it in summer especially, when it grows most prolifically. Number 4 is white clover. You've walked past this plant 1,000 times. Trifolium repens has 3 oval leaflets, often marked with that distinctive white crescent or V shape. It blankets lawns, parks, and roadsides everywhere. What most people do not know is that the entire above-ground plant is edible: stems, leaves, flowers, seeds, all of it. The flowers are the tastiest part, with a pleasant sweetness. You can toss leaves into salads, sauté them into dishes, eat the flowers raw, or dry them for tea. Nutritionally, white clover delivers vitamins A, C, and E, along with B vitamins, magnesium, potassium, and calcium. One important warning: avoid alsite clover entirely. It is toxic and it causes photosensitivity. Stick with white clover and red clover and you're golden. Number 5 is lamb's quarters. Chenopodium album is one of the most nutritious wild plants you'll find, and it's everywhere. As foraging expert Sam Thayer notes, it is often called wild spinach because the young leaves taste remarkably similar but pack even more nutrition. The leaves are diamond or triangular shaped with a slightly mealy texture, often with a whitish coating on the underside. The plant can grow quite tall, sometimes reaching 6 feet. Lamb's quarters thrives in disturbed soil and is commonly found in gardens, vacant lots, and along fence lines. The young leaves and tender growing tips are excellent raw in salads or cooked like spinach. They are loaded with vitamin A, vitamin C, iron, and calcium. The seeds, when mature, can be harvested and used like quinoa. They are actually closely related. This plant has been a food source for thousands of years across multiple cultures. Now, before you rush outside, we need to talk about safety. This is critical. Never eat a plant unless you are 100% certain of your identification. Use multiple resources to confirm. Get a field guide, download apps such as iNaturalist, Seek, and PlantNet, and cross-reference everything. Never rely on a single photo. Be especially cautious of deadly lookalikes like poison hemlock, Conium maculatum, which can be confused with other plants in the carrot family and is extremely toxic. Avoid foraging near busy roads. Stay at least 50 feet from heavy traffic. Skip anything near golf courses or areas that might be treated with pesticides and herbicides. When you try a new plant, only try 1 new species per day. If you have a reaction, you need to know which plant caused it. You also need to know the law. This varies wildly by location. Cities like New York and San Francisco prohibit foraging in public parks, with fines up to $250. West Coast cities tend to be more lenient, especially with fruit trees on public sidewalks. Check your local regulations before you harvest anything. A great resource is fallingfruit.org, which maps foraging spots in cities around the world. Finally, forage ethically. Take only what you need. Leave plenty behind for wildlife, for regrowth, and for other foragers. Recognize that the land you are foraging on has history, often deep indigenous history, and respect that connection. This practice connects us to traditional herbalism and the wisdom of generations who understood these plants intimately. Start with one plant, learn it thoroughly, then add another. Within a few weeks, your city will transform from concrete and asphalt into a landscape filled with food you never noticed before. That dandelion in the sidewalk crack isn't a weed, it's a salad waiting to happen.